News.
When news breaks, we break in. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
KBNU News Time is 5:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by U&I Furniture. A 25-year-old Smithfield man has pleaded guilty to groping a teenage girl last year. Gabriel Henryon was arrested in May 2020 after a warrant was issued for his arrest. Henryon participated in a virtual hearing in First District Court this afternoon. He accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to an amended count of sexual battery, a Class A misdemeanor. Henryon was originally charged with unlawful sexual activity with a minor after the victim, a 17-year-old girl, reported being raped by Henryon. The two were reportedly co-workers at a local restaurant. The girl explained that early on the morning of March 2nd of last year, she began texting Henryon because she couldn't sleep. She mentioned that the two had been in a friendship for several months. As their conversation continued, the defendant asked her to come over to his home because he wanted someone to cuddle with, and she agreed. The girl told officers that the two began watching a movie when the suspect began kissing her. She went on to say that before she could even comprehend what was occurring, Henryon was raping her. During today's court hearing, Cache County Deputy Attorney Clark Harms explained that as part of the plea deal, Henryon acknowledged to inappropriately touching the girl, causing her alarm. Judge Angela Fonsbeck accepted the plea deal. She scheduled sentencing for August 30th. Henryon remains out of jail after posting $5,000 bail. He could face up to 1 year in jail. KBNU News Time is 5:07. KBNU weather for tonight. Patchy smoke, otherwise mostly clear tonight and overnight, low around 60, and then partly cloudy, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon on Tuesday, high temperature in the lower 90s. Slight chance of storms Tuesday night, and then partly cloudy, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon on Wednesday, high around 90. It's been to 96. It's 95 right now at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry, located at 1st East and 7th South in Brigham City and 5th East, 9th North in Logan. Mount Logan Laundry has free Wi-Fi.
People love shopping at U&I Furniture. They know they're going to get a great price on a quality piece of furniture. And one section of the store is Chair Heaven, where U&I has a big selection of rocker recliners, power recliners, big chairs, chairs for the petite, swivel chairs, accent chairs, lift chairs, all kinds of chairs. U&I works hard to have the inventory you're looking for. In fact, they order new furniture on almost a daily basis to keep stocked up. So if you need a sofa love, sectional, a new dining room set, stop in and see why there really is always a better buy at U&I Furniture in downtown Logan at 28 West 1st North.
KBNU News Time is 5:08. Utah Highway Patrol says at least 8 people died when 22 vehicles were involved in a pileup during a sandstorm yesterday afternoon. The agency says in a news release that the crashes happened on I-15 near the town of Kanosh. At least 10 other people were reportedly taken to hospitals in critical condition. Ground and air ambulances were used to transport crash victims. The Highway Patrol says the crashes happened during a period of high winds that caused a dust or sandstorm, which reduced visibility. The interstate remained partially shut down late Sunday. Traffic was redirected around the crash site. And Idaho officials are working on a hemp plan to submit to federal officials this fall so that farmers can grow hemp next year. State Department of Agriculture Deputy Director Chanel Tuwalt tells the Capitol Press that the state intends to submit its plan to the USDA by September 1st. Idaho lawmakers earlier this year approved growing and selling hemp products containing 0.3% or less of THC, the cannabis compound that gives marijuana its high. Farmers could sell hemp seeds and a hemp-derived extract known as CBD, seen by many as a health aid. KBNU News Time is 5:09. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com.
Attention homeowners! You may have noticed the ground shift after your foundation has been poured, causing your house to sink or settle. Protect your investment from issues before they happen. Polylift concrete raising and piering will stabilize, lift, and eliminate further settling by using Magnum piering products to save you big money down the road. Polylift concrete raising and piering are the foundation lifting experts. Visit poly-lift.com to schedule your free assessment or call or text 435-999-9309. Polylift is locally owned and operated. If you're like most local residents, you have a huge influx of creepy crawlers invading your home. Right now, the nasty elm seed beetle is all over northern Utah, but there is a solution. Call Logan Extermination today for a full exterior spray. Their full exterior spray includes foundations and eaves and will kill those nasty spiders, wasps, box elder bugs, and the new nuisance elm seed beetles. And best of all, prices start at only $85. Call Logan Extermination today for details. 752-8450. Industrial Tool and Supply was voted Best of Northern Utah for Best Hardware Stores. Find out why during their huge DeWalt NASCAR event this Monday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All DeWalt tools are 10% over cost. 20-volt Bear tools will also be discounted. Ask for details. The first 30 people in the door will get a free DeWalt pocket knife. DeWalt batteries, bags, and chargers on sale. DeWalt reps will also be on hand. Stock is limited, so hurry in. DeWalt's NASCAR event this Monday at Industrial Tool and Supply in Logan.
Oh, little piggy! Let me in or I'll blow this building down!
Nice try, Wolfie, but this here building's made from steel.
All right then, here goes! Gosh, that didn't work.
A building from Northern Steel Buildings will keep out the big bad wolf, and they don't break the piggy bank. Visit northernsteelbuildings.com to see their quality work or call 435-677-7300. Northern Steel Buildings, value from concept to construction.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Utah Army National Guard. Aired by the Utah Broadcasters Association and this station.
The KVNU Anniversary Club in the Morning News is yours. You call in your anniversaries, those you know about, and we give away prizes. We have a daily prize, the Rose and Vase at Plant Peddler. We have a weekly prize, a pearl bracelet, S.C. Needham Jewelers. And we have a monthly prize. Everybody gets in that drawing, and that's for the Kopp and Salmark gift certificate and the overnight stay at the Anniversary Inn with their 33 themed rooms, the great getaway without leaving town. So 753-KVNU, first thing in the morning, you give us a call with names, mailing address, how many years together for the KVNU Anniversary Club.
Feeling down deep in my soul that it just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Hour 2 of today's show, Monday, July 26th. It's pretty warm and dry out there. This is something you're probably hearing a lot of lately and experiencing a lot of lately yourself. But try and find the silver lining in things. Some serendipitous timing. There was a big Smithsonian production planned for 2020 involving water. It's going to be called, or is called, still H2O Today. And the plan was to bring it to Cache Valley. The Hyrum City Museum and others were working on this. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And once the pandemic hit, all of this on pause, up in the air, canceled outright entirely. And so in the ensuing year, the Smithsonian Institute and local museums and curators and, a lot of different organizations got together and decided, to expand this. This is a do-it-yourself touring exhibit, the Smithsonian calls them, and it's coming to Cache Valley. But in the past year, Jami Van Huss and others at the Hyrum Museum and elsewhere have attached this to local events, locations, and more. And, all of this, of course, happening in a year that Governor Cox said is the worst drought in 75 years here in Utah. The Smithsonian H2O Today exhibit with a very special focus on the Bear River Heritage area in this exhibition is coming to town. August 14th is the beginning of Hyrum City Museum's hosting of the Smithsonian exhibition, H2O Today. Joining us right now from the Hyrum City Museum, our good friend Jami Van Huss, Hyrum City Museum Director. Appreciate you taking some time to join us today. How did I do on setup there? I mean, I know there's far more to this story than what I covered there, but what a strange couple of years it's been for this exhibit. But in the end, what timing, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I've said that several times. It's just wonderful to have an exhibit looking at water in this kind of historic year where water is just on everybody's mind constantly. It's been in the plan, this has been in the works for several years, and for it to finally, it was delayed because of the pandemic, and now to finally have it here and for an extended time. And also just to really clarify, it is the Bear River Heritage Area that's sponsoring, and we have, over like 4 dozen partners.
Wow.
Throughout the northern Utah counties of Cache, Box Elder, and Rich County, and then also it stretches up into southeastern Idaho, into Oneida, Caribou, Bear Lake, and Franklin County. So we have stuff going on regionally for 6 months. It's really exciting. Like you said, there are a few smaller things that are other exhibits. Some of our partners are starting, in fact, so for instance, in Newton, there's an exhibit opening this weekend for Pioneer Day weekend. You should all go see and learn the story about, the really unique story of the Newton Reservoir. And then it will go all the way through January into early February. So there's a lot of really neat things. One thing that's super cool is by being such an expanded show, we get to go through a ton of different seasons, which is huge for Utah and Cache Valley, right? I mean, we get to do water, irrigation, summer, snow, all of it. So it's really very exciting, and yes, very serendipitous to be in this water year. And just one last point is that one thing that I think is really encouraging and why people should come see some of these exhibits and programs is everything is very hopeful. I feel like a lot of it is like, oh my gosh, we are just, what a situation we've got ourselves into kind of sentiment. And so many of these exhibits are just, these are good ideas, here's some knowledge, these are small changes we can make. It's not all doom and gloom. It's all just very insightful. And anytime you understand history, you're going to have a more informed trajectory and path moving forward to be more helpful. So there's so much good information that I think is just very timely right now, too.
Oh, yeah.
And really quickly, I want to plug, Utah Humanities is really the organization that's funding and organizing this and really just keeping us rolling. And right now we have on the Bear River Heritage Area site, there will be a full calendar, and that's actually what I was doing right when you called, is just finalizing a few details with our partners. So it is not live yet, but so you can find it there at bearriverheritage.org, and hopefully by the end of the week. Everything we're doing will also be on the Utah Humanities webpage. If you just go to utahhumanities.org and click on their Think Water Utah, this is all part of a very much larger program that's been going on, for a couple of years now. And there's some amazing resources there, and one in particular is an essay that the state scholar Greg Smoke wrote called Utah Waterways. And we have hard copies here at the museum. A lot of our partners will have them, and it's available for free online. And I mean, the hard copies are free too. But, when I finished reading this, I thought, oh my gosh, this should be required reading for every Utahn this year, because it's just fascinating. The history of Utah, how it's been moved and commodified, and all these different things in the West. And then at the end, it really talks about kind of this idea of that it's not really that we have a water problem, it's that we have a water management problem.
Sure.
And so I think that, while not being critical of people, because I think, there's a lot of people just doing the best they can, but just this idea that it's not hopeless, right? Like, let's work together and figure out something to make sure that we can have water to drink next year.
Sure. That's, and that theme comes up again and again. What I was so excited about this exhibit before this year even came about, we had as Bill and I were discussing, we had a drought year last year, but it was mild, things we were used to. This year, of course, very different story. But then watching how this played out, when you and I first spoke about this, it had just gotten postponed due to the pandemic, I believe. And you'd mentioned that essay as well by just an amazing read that I, too, recommend everybody take an opportunity to read. But the theme of this was originally just to celebrate water, its history, its role in all of our quality of, from quality of life to just being able to live here in the first place here in the West, where much of it is actually a desert area, some of the history behind that. And as I understand it, Jami, they've kept the essence of that, but added some things. Having had this extra year to kind of plan things out, you guys have added a lot of very local things that will seem very timely today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, like I said, I think we have over 12 partners just who have curated exhibits. So we have just to kind of, let me pull my calendar up really quick. I should have had that up, just to kind of give you a teaser or a sneak of some of the really neat things that are going on. There is one exhibit called Blessed by Water Worked by Hand that is actually on exhibit right now up in Montpelier at the Oregon-California Trail Center, and that's touring around. That will be in all 7 counties between now and February. So we also have the Brigham City Museums over in Brigham City are showing one on hometown habitat that really looks at the Bear River Migratory Refuge, and they actually are having Terry Tempest Williams is doing a Zoom meeting and coming in and talking about her book and those topics. Also, the Cache DUP Museum right downtown Logan, which has been under renovation for the last couple of years. We're so excited they're opening, and they're looking at winter and how that shaped life in Cache Valley. Here at the Hyrum City Museum, our companion exhibit is all about Boa Ogai, which is the Bear River, as the Northwestern Band of Shoshone call it, and really showing their connection to the river throughout time, back prior to the massacre and the trajectory that sent the people on, and then them coming back and buying the massacre site and all the work they're doing there in partnership with Utah State to restore the site. Utah is doing one, Golden Spike is having one, Cache Arts is having one, the Artist Gallery is having a whole exhibition, and then we have a whole bunch of lectures. Like we said, Greg Smoke, who wrote this essay, he will be giving the Cache Valley Historical Society's lecture in September.
Wow.
Telecon West is participating, and then and then we just have tours. We'll do that'll be a fun one up at Beaver Mountain, USU Water Labs, the steam tunnels. I mean, there's just a lot of really, and that's not everything. That's just kind of what I saw really quickly. That's your teaser there to get everyone. We're going to have a passport program, so if you can get passports at these different locations and have them stamped, and there's incentives to get prizes if you go visit a lot of these things throughout the next 6 months. The vast majority of these things are going to be free. The only exception is if they're at places that already charge admission, such as, like Golden Spike, stuff like that. So, I mean, there really is just a little bit of everything, regardless of what you're interested in. I think you're going to find something that's going to really speak to you, and just all the ways we use water, from how it's not the Ellen Nichols Theater, how it uses canals to temperature control that building.
That's one of the, I think, best kept secrets in Cache Valley, is water being used in that creative way, with the canals running under the building there. But obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg with how water is used here in Cache Valley. We're talking H2O today with Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum. Again, this is a touring exhibit. The Smithsonian Institute Traveling Exhibition Service was planning to send this to Cache Valley in 2020. And of course, the pandemic kind of shut everything down, but that gave them some time to work with local museums like Hyrum City Museum to actually expand this. And then, of course, no one could plan this. The worst drought in 75 years hits, and everyone is talking about water. Could not be more perfectly timed. So what actually is in the H2O Today exhibit and the DIY tour from the Smithsonian Institute? What can you expect by visiting some of these locations around the valley as this kicks off August 14th? Well, we'll find out with our guest, Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum. We'll keep it going after this quick break here on KVNU's For the People.
Hi, this is Chris Wilson at Wilson Motor Superstore next to the Olive Garden. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, now is a great time to buy during our clearance sales event. We have reduced prices on over 250 pre-owned vehicles with over 30 vehicles under $10,000. We can help you find the right vehicle. Check out our inventory online at wilsonmotor.com or drop in for a test drive at one of our 2 great locations, 328 North Main or next to the Olive Garden.
Wilson Motor Company, we make car buying easy.
Mark your calendars for the Logan Home Show, Friday and Saturday, July 30th and 31st at the Cache Valley Event Center. See the latest in home decor, remodeling, design, and home automation. Admission and parking are free. Enjoy live cooking demonstrations and tour local and national vendors. Bring the whole family for a fun-filled day. The Logan Home Show at the Cache County Event Center at the County Fairgrounds in Logan, happening this coming weekend, Friday, July 30th, and again Saturday the 31st. Learn more at loganhomeshow.com.
Hi, I'm Holly Danes, and I've enjoyed serving Logan as your mayor. I've kept my promises to revitalize downtown, modernize our city's aging infrastructure, and expand parks and trails with input from our citizens and taxpayers. We've accomplished all that without raising taxes and while balancing our budget. So let's keep the momentum going for a brighter future. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming election. Primary ballots will be arriving soon.
Paid for by Danes for Mayor campaign.
Trouble with pain, sleep, or anxiety? Want better health? Try CBD7, the CBD experts. You simply can't get this water-soluble CBD at grocery, convenience, or health food stores. Water-soluble CBD7 absorbs 15 times better and tastes great. CBD7 has the only clinically proven formula with real measurable results. Many feel better in minutes. CBD7 is not a drug and has no side effects. Other CBDs just can't do all that. Visit CBD7 today. Learn about CBD and try our best for free.
If you are a veteran or first responder, this message is for you. Cytiva wants to invite you to a free lunch as a way to say thank you for your service. Please mark your calendar for Thursday, July 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Employees of Cytiva would like to serve you a free lunch including steak, potatoes, and dessert. Again, all veterans and first responders, please join Cytiva Thursday, July 29th from 11 to 1 for free lunch at Cytiva, 925 West, 1800 South. Look for signs on parking as you arrive. Thank you for your service. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News. More than 6 months after the first COVID vaccine shots were introduced, vaccinated Americans are showing signs of frustration with those who refuse to get inoculated. We'll have examples. Also, Border Patrol agents detain thousands of migrants each day as illegal crossings hit record highs. And a back-to-school shopping preview. Tuesday on This Morning, America's First News. From 4 to 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM. Your station for news and talk.
I see you face again, and I'm afraid of my...
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Talking water. Well, specifically, H2O Today, a traveling Smithsonian exhibit coming to Cache Valley August 14th. Again, this was originally planned for 2020 and then canceled or put on pause due to the pandemic. Since then, though, it's given planners, both at the Smithsonian Institute and local entities, the Hyrum City Museum, the Audubon Society involved in some of this, Bear River Heritage Area, as Jami has mentioned here, and a lot of other organizations, Stokes Nature Center, to kind of work together to expand this H2O Today thing into a 6-month-long set of exhibits, set of experiences, set of educational opportunities, happening starting August 14th and going for 6 months, H2O Today. And all of this timed, which no one could have planned, in the midst of what Governor Cox calls the worst drought in 75 years here in Utah. a good time to be talking about and thinking about water. Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, our guest here. And Jami, we've talked about how this all came about, how you guys have expanded this out into a 6-month-long program with the support of the Smithsonian Institute. H2O Today kicking off August 14th. We've talked about some of the history that will be covered in all of this, but there's also going to be a big focus on, contemporary issues. And as you may have noticed or heard me say just now, we're in the midst of this drought. The governor says worst in 75 years. We've talked a lot about this on the show. The Great Salt Lake, on July 19th, just last week, it tied the lowest level. It's going to go lower than that. That exposes lake bed, potential toxic dust in the air, going to adversely affect air quality here in northern Utah, something we already have enough challenges with. And all of this tied to water or lack thereof. And Jami, as I understand it, this is actually the Great Salt Lake going to be a focus in this Smithsonian H2O Today exhibit here in Cache Valley, right?
Really affects all of us. That body of water and the amount of water in it is so crucial to all of us here in this region.
It's amazing to see all of this in such a broad perspective. And again, for the Smithsonian, normally a traveling Smithsonian exhibit is what it is. This one's so unique that it's designed to basically merge a traveling Smithsonian exhibit with all of these local exhibits, hands-on experiences, and just some amazing information. Jami, I learned from some of the information that's included in the Smithsonian part of the 6-month-long H2O Today experience. Some little factoids I learned. 1 pound of chicken that you might pick up at the grocery store, it requires 468 gallons of water to result in that 1 pound of chicken you buy at the grocery store and cook up at home. I also learned Americans consume an average of 100. And now this isn't just what we drink directly. This is in our whole daily experience, the things we eat, the places we go. We consume an average of 151 gallons of water per day in our domestic lives. These are just from the Smithsonian exhibit itself. Now take all of that type of thing and tie it in with these local presentations, local exhibits, and more. It's just amazing, and an opportunity to really focus on the Bear River Heritage Area, on water in a year that's on our mind so much already. And again, the exhibit officially opens Saturday, August 14th at the Hyrum City Museum. And, hats off to you guys, everyone involved throughout the region even, for getting this all together, pulling it off, and again, 6 months of this, an opportunity to learn about water, to say the least, right?
Yeah, we're super excited. And one thing that's really fascinating that I think you were alluding to a little bit with this exhibition, it being the H2O Today exhibition, is how it's localized. And so like we've been speaking about, there are all these companion exhibits that look at very local stories around the region. But also what's neat about H2O Today is that it is an exhibition that basically the Smithsonian creates the template for. And then what happened is Utah Humanities then took that template, and there's literally one blank, there's 5 different kiosks that each talk about a different topic, and then there's also 3 interactive ones. So like those facts that you were talking about, Jason, those are on a very cool little foot, they're like, there's a picture of a cow, and then you flip it up and it shows you how many gallons it takes to do that. So there's great interactives for the kids and fun things that can engage everybody that comes in. And so what's really neat about the H2O Today exhibit is Utah Humanities created it so each panel or each kiosk has one full panel specifically that just talks about Utah stories.
That's amazing.
And so with other traveling Smithsonian exhibitions, you don't get that. Kind of the local content comes only in these companion exhibits. And so this is like super local because it's incorporated right into the actual exhibition. And then, of course, we have all of our partners doing great exhibits too. And so I think people are going to be, it's going to be so easy to learn and be engaged with the different things. And I think, it is a great opportunity, and I hope that everybody takes advantage of getting. I hope I get around to everything because it's just super exciting. There's a lot of really fascinating things going on.
Our guest again, Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, the traveling Smithsonian exhibit, a DIY exhibit, meaning this original exhibit planned to tour the country in 2020 has evolved over the last year as it's been on hold due to the pandemic into something that ties this already fascinating H2O Today Smithsonian exhibit to local exhibits and local hands-on experience, local education opportunities, expanding this out into a 6-month event called H2O Today, kicking off right here in Cache Valley at the Hyrum City Museum on August 14th. A link to that on our Facebook page, HyrumCityMuseum.org, the website, or search Hyrum City Museum on Facebook for more information. And H2O Today, again, gets underway August 14th. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but one more time could not be better timed. In the drought we're experiencing right now, really no better time to learn the history, to talk about, to think about, to understand more about how we use H2O, water. H2O Today, the Smithsonian exhibit, and all of these local tie-ins that have been put together with a year of planning kicks off again August 14th here in Cache Valley. And thanks again to Jami Van Huss, director of the Hyrum City Museum, HyrumCityMuseum.org, their website, or find them on Facebook. And we'll be back with more of For the People on the other side of these headlines with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 5:36. The news is brought to you by the Duck Hunter. A 21-year-old convicted sex offender has been arrested on suspicion of traveling to Cache Valley and raping 2 Logan teenagers. Hassan Al-Ogaili was booked Friday into the Cache County Jail, where he is temporarily being held without bail. According to an arrest report, the alleged victims, ages 12 and 13 years old, told Logan City police officers they met Al-Ogaili on Snapchat and agreed to meet him on July 20th. He reportedly drove the girls to a convenience store where he purchased snacks and electronic cigarettes for them. The girls told police Al-Ogaili then drove near the Logan Temple and parked. He raped 2 of the girls as they reportedly told him no and were screaming. The report stated the girls were able to escape out of the vehicle and went to Intermountain Logan Regional Hospital for treatment. They described Al-Ogaili to police, and police were able to locate video and financial transaction information from the convenience store. It showed the suspect purchasing snacks with a debit card matching the girls' stories. Jail records show Al-Ogaili was booked on suspicion of 2 counts of rape of a child and 1 count of aggravated sexual abuse of a child. Something that has not happened in 4 years is a radio interview with candidate for mayor Holly Daines. The current Logan mayor is running for re-election. And on KBNU's For the People program last Thursday, she said it's been a very busy 4 years.
And we have accomplished a great deal in that amount of time. I'm really proud of that. And we have done it with a balanced budget and with no tax increases. So, again, we've had funds in our redevelopment agency that are specifically for redevelopment projects, and we've used those wisely to really enhance our city. I think if people look at South Main and the improvements we've made there with new curb and gutter and park strip and trees and, decorative street lights.
Daines also said the Center Street project has been a great success. She thinks people really enjoy a place to gather downtown, to sit outside and enjoy the beautiful flowers and walk along the new sidewalk. She said they hope to extend that with the Center Block Plaza. 2 men were shot in a Bountiful neighborhood early Sunday morning, but are expected to survive their injuries. KUTV reports police were called when 2 gunshot victims went to a resident of the area for help. Officers made contact with the 2 men in their 20s and learned the shooting occurred on a road near the intersection of 1300 East, 400 North. Bountiful Police Department said possible shooters left the area in a vehicle and said they believe those involved know each other and are all residents of Salt Lake City. KBNU News Time is 5:39.
My friend John Hansen at the Duct Hunter has constantly educated you about the need for ductwork cleaning in your home. But what about your cabin or summer home outside the valley? You need that home's ductwork cleaned too. With high pollen counts in the mountains, dust always in the wind, and road construction ever present, the old adage of out of sight, out of mind is bad. Give the Duct Hunter a call at 770-4813 to clean out those dirty ducts in your summer home.
We are the Duct Hunter. Breathe better, save money, protect your home. We are the Duct Hunter.
KBNU weather tonight, mostly clear, patchy smoke, low around 60, partly cloudy in the morning, then partly sunny with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, 30% chance, high in the lower 90s. It's been to 96, right now 95 at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by CBD7. If you want CBD, you want what works. You want CBD7. Order CBD7 online or look for the big pink CBD7 sign at 473 South Main in Logan. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, just wait until you hire an amateur.
Why the heck is the roof leaking? Larry, you said you got it fixed.
I thought it was fixed, Donna. Everything was fine until it started raining.
Larry, that's the point of fixing the roof, is so we can actually live here when it's stormy outside.
This is David with Roof Rescue. Our experienced roofing team is tried and true and will fix your roof guaranteed. Visit roofrescueusa.com to schedule your free roof inspection. Roof Rescue, providing watertight peace of mind.
Pristine wilderness can still be found in the West, where creeks run freely and historic apple trees still bear fruit. Maple Creek Ranch features breathtaking canyon views and opportunities for real estate development. 2.5-acre lots are now available with adjacent wilderness areas that provide endless riding and recreational possibilities. So find your piece of paradise just 35 minutes from Logan at Maple Creek Ranch. Schedule your appointment online at maplecreekranch.net.
Did you get a landscape plan and now wonder what's next? You need Canyon Landscaping. They can build any plan into a signature landscape. Since 1999, their team has viewed educating clients as a crucial part of every project. This ensures customers get the best finished landscape for their specific site. No two sites are the same, so be sure to come to the experts with expertise and knowledge of delivering on any landscape plan. Call 752-3838 or go to canyonlandscaping.com. Canyon Landscaping. Look for the leaf.
Meet me downtown. Meet me in downtown Logan.
This is Mike Miller with Cache Valley Bank. We love supporting local businesses and are proud to support the new Center Street Market in downtown Logan every Wednesday during the summer. The market opens at 8 a.m. and all of the merchants will be local businesses from right here in Cache Valley. Cache Valley Bank invites everyone to the Center Street Market in downtown Logan. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Meet me downtown. Meet me in downtown Logan.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. While we're on the topic of growth and change, and get used to this, folks. I know that for many of us, it'd be so great to say Cache Valley is just going to just stay Cache Valley the way we all remember it as a kid. I'd love for the spaces where I used to ride my little BMX bike to still be open fields. They're not. They're all subdivisions now. I would love for the changes that are coming to the valley to you don't want to stop this. I don't want to tell people, oh, sorry, we're out of space. You got to move. When you grow up, you can't stay here in the valley. You've got to move somewhere else. Nobody wants to do that. You don't want to see your family members have to go. It's a great place to live. But it does, as population grows exponentially. And so as more and more people decide to locate here, to stay here, we're going to have to adapt. And that's the simple fact of the matter. Again, you can call into question how much the population is going to grow. The projections, again, are double the population of right now in the next 30, 40 years. A lot of things can happen in that time. I mentioned water at the start of the hour. I'm not kidding about this. This has happened in other parts of the country before where, an area was just a hot spot. Everyone wanted to stay there. and then it just got so crowded. The traffic was so nasty, water was an issue. That's going to be a continued issue here in Utah. So you might see, if certain restrictions become necessary, like, for example, in the southern part of the state, I think in the coming years you're going to see, in the St. George area, for example, you're going to see cities having to say, look, lawns just can't be a thing anymore. We can't afford to do this. There's increasing pressure on cities who do own golf courses to stop that in some parts of the state even. So, these are just examples of things that might change, but change is coming. So, but speaking of that change, we talk about downtown. Whenever we talk about growth, we talk about, the areas that are undeveloped right now. But there's also a factor when it comes to downtowns of cities, and this pulls in transportation. This pulls in planning as well. And the whole idea behind this is, you want to give people an area and business owners an area where, as population grows, you can go do stuff and spend money. That's good for the economy. It gives people jobs. It's good for the cities. They can generate revenue through these methods to do the business of the city and provide the services we expect them to provide. So, rising tides, et cetera. And Logan has been on that for many years now, trying to revitalize downtown, turn it into something far different than what it used to be, but also something that is necessary for downtown in 2021. A lot of that has already happened. There's a lot still coming. We're going to see the Emporium building come down. We're going to see the construction of a plaza, a central meeting area, something that will attract people to downtown. And the overall goal, as Mayor Daines has told us, as the city council members have told us, the goal with all this, and it's planned, is to give people, to make downtown a destination, not a place people stop on their way to do something else on the weekends, but a place where people come on the weekends, and that's where they're going to be. They're going to eat downtown. They're going to enjoy some entertainment downtown. They're going to walk downtown, maybe stumble into a few businesses and spend some money. That's the goal, and that's what residents of cities expect from their downtowns now. So that's happening around all of this planning and changing that's happening in every city around Logan and throughout Cache County. So I've really been focused on this. Today, the county council, either still is or has just met in a closed session. They do this rarely. The Logan City Council rarely uses closed session. When they do, it's either to discuss, sometimes there's a human resource issue maybe. Sometimes they'll do it to discuss a sale or a purchase of property. Anytime when there's going to be discussion of private information, then they'll go into a closed session. And then the information discussed will be followed in a public session. So before any decision is made, that part goes public. But sometimes they have to discuss things that include private information, that include price tags and things like that are being thrown about before any money's actually spent, and they go into these closed sessions. That happened today at 3 p.m., and the rumor mill has it the request might be some pretty welcome news to some downtown business owners. If you were following along, last time Mayor Daines was in with us, we talked about this, but there was a plan the city had to relocate Logan City's fire department. It's old, it's tiny, it doesn't fit the needs of Logan City or the fire department crew any longer. And if you've ever been inside, you'll see why. This is something that has to change. And the plan was to take it from that existing location on the north side of that downtown block there. Fire station faces Second North, just up from the Burger King there. And they were going to move it to the opposing corner, which is currently an empty parking lot. Well, it's rarely empty, and that was kind of the issue. They were going to relocate it there. Then the parking spaces that would be lost by putting the fire department there then would be replaced by turning the existing spot of the fire department's building. That would be raised and parking would be put there. So overall, no loss of parking, but there would be a transition period in which there would be significant loss of parking while construction happened and tear down happened and things like that. Local businesses around that Federal Avenue area and along First East and even Second North complained about this and said they can't afford to lose that parking. So they showed up en masse and told the city, we oppose this plan. the city said, all right, we're putting a pause on this, plan to relocate to that southeastern corner of the parking area there, the new fire department. And so, again, this is all rumor mill. City officials aren't saying a word outright on this closed meeting that, again, is either still happening now or did happen, and we just haven't heard the results yet at 3 p.m. today. It started at 3 p.m. today. County council members themselves didn't know. Charlie Schill of CashValleyDaily.com reached out, and they didn't know themselves for sure what they were going to be talking about in advance of the meeting, what property. What we did know is that it was a discussion about a potential property acquisition. No other details could be confirmed. Amy Anderson of the city council said the purpose of the closed meeting has not been made public, and the council has not been fully informed. All we've been told, she said, we've been informed that this requested closed meeting is to consider the administration's request to discuss a potential property acquisition. And again, the rumor has it, this is what's going around, basically, that this might relate to that plan, need to relocate the fire department. It needs to stay in downtown, but how? If swapping it to that other corner of the same block is unacceptable to local businesses, what are the other options? Mayor Daines and I speculated when she was here for last month's Speak to the Mayor segment, and there are other options, but would they be cheaper? Who knows? And so they were going to start asking questions. So the city council members also requested during that public hearing that happened around this relocation that alternate locations be considered. So everyone's guess is that that's what this discussion was about today. We'll know soon, and you can find out. Charlie Schill of CashValleyDaily.com is all over this one. You can find out by keeping an eye on CashValleyDaily.com and also the CashValleyDaily.com social media channels. As soon as we know, we'll have it on the air here in Cache Valley as well. But it might be some, like I say, welcome news for downtown businesses that were in opposition, that were concerned about this original plan to relocate the fire department's building to the southeast corner of the parking lot there on Federal Avenue. Odds are, I would say, this discussion is regarding an alternate location, a potential purchase of property that could give them a second choice for where to put the fire department. It needs to be in downtown. That's one thing we do know. It needs to move. That's the other thing we do know. Where? Well, like I say, stay tuned. Full story on this with everything we do know at this point, courtesy of Charlie Schill at CashValleyDaily.com. Closed session may be good news for Federal Avenue business owners. The title of the story there. I've also linked to that on our Facebook page, and we'll be back with more of For the People right after this.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology is Cache Valley's most trusted name in hearing aid technology. Schedule a free consultation with Dr. Paul Daines by calling 753-HEAR or visit CacheHearing.com.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
This is Jace Allen with Allen Mortuaries. From our family to yours, thank you for voting Allen Mortuaries Best Funeral Home of Northern Utah and Best Funeral Home of Cache Valley. We sincerely appreciate the confidence and trust your family has given us over the past 83 years. When you trust us with the final preparations of your loved one, you get the kind of caring, personalized service you can only expect from a family-owned funeral home. It's our family serving yours. Voted Best Funeral Home of Cache Valley in Northern Utah, Allen Mortuaries. Then, now, always.
Hi there, Congressman Blake Moore here. This summer, my staff will be traveling throughout the 1st District hosting mobile office hours. Come and bring questions, thoughts, or any issues with federal agencies straight to Team Moore. Our team will be in Rich, Cache, Box Elder, Daggett, Uinta, Weber, Davis, Morgan, Duchesne, and Summit counties in late July. Visit my website at blakemore.house.gov and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rep. Blake Moore for more details. Paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Hi, this is Chris Wilson at Wilson Motor Superstore next to the Olive Garden. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, now is a great time to buy during our clearance sales event. We have reduced prices on over 250 pre-owned vehicles, with over 30 vehicles under $10,000. We can help you find the right vehicle. Check out our inventory online at wilsonmotor.com or drop in for a test drive at one of our 2 great locations, 328 North Main or next to the Olive Garden.
Wilson Motor Company, we make car buying easy.
If you're like most local residents, you have a huge influx of creepy crawlers invading your home. Right now, the nasty elm seed beetle is all over northern Utah. But there is a solution. Call Logan Extermination today for a full exterior spray. Their full exterior spray includes foundations and eaves and will kill those nasty spiders, wasps, box elder bugs, and the new nuisance elm seed beetles. And best of all, prices start at only $85. Call Logan Extermination today for details. 752-8450. Industrial Tool and Supply was voted Best of Northern Utah for Best Hardware Stores. Find out why during their huge DeWalt NASCAR event this Monday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All DeWalt tools are 10% over cost. 20-volt Bear tools will also be discounted. Ask for details. The first 30 people in the door will get a free DeWalt pocket knife. DeWalt batteries, bags, and chargers on sale. DeWalt reps will also be on hand. Stock is limited, so hurry in. DeWalt's NASCAR event this Monday at Industrial Tool and Supply in Logan.
This is Governor Spencer Cox. Right now, we're facing our state's worst drought on record. Utah, now's the time to unite in our effort to water less. So please visit slowtheflow.org to learn ways that you can take action.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. Wrapping up today's show with a story discussion that will make you think, to say the least. But I mean, it's something maybe we should all talk about or think about and consider. It's something that's going to be very foreign to us all. But the topic is recycling water, DIY recycling water specifically. The story of a family in Utah that before this drought even hit has been getting pretty creative about their water usage. And this, of course, stemmed from the mom in the family that works as a research ecologist for U.S. Forest Service. Tara Bishop said she and her family became pretty concerned about this as she, as a research ecologist, learned more and more about the water situation in the West. And they started doing some of these things, including carrying shower water in a 5-gallon bucket to thirsty plants in the yard. That really would save a lot of water. Overall, here in Utah, the water coming out of the various faucets in our home is hundreds of gallons a day in many households, if not thousands. And America's urban water situation over the past century in general has changed as well. So some of these things are getting discussed more. There's a catch to this, though. Some of it might actually be illegal. Individuals recycling what's known as gray water or even rainwater systems in some states can be against the law. In fact, in Utah, it wasn't legal to collect and use your own rainwater for reasons that predate common sense. It wasn't legal until just a few years ago here in Utah to do that. There are city, state, and even water district laws and ordinances, HOA rules, all of that would have to be navigated to make sure all of this is legal. But it's something people should be considering. Water recycling, gray water. Now, obviously, we don't want people out there recycling sewer water, but we're talking gray water, shower water, dish water from the kitchen sink, things like that. There's actually a company that specializes in this, a company called Hydraloop, and they claim they can recycle 90% of gray water for a household of 4 using an average household rates, savings over 34,000 gallons of water per year recycling gray water. And they estimate that here in Utah, a 4-person household could reuse about 16,000 of that 16,000 gallons of that same water. It's an interesting proposal, perspective. I don't know how much work people are going to be willing to put into this to make it happen, but it's definitely something we should all consider, maybe talk about, maybe look into as a state, as individuals, considering we live in a desert and droughts are likely to be more frequent going forward. Check it out. I've linked to the Salt Lake Tribune story on a Utah family getting creative with their gray water and a company that profits off of recycling this water based here in Utah. It's on our Facebook page. That's our time for today. Thank you for tuning in. Dave Ramsey next here on KVNU Logan.